No one likes doing household chores, right? But we all know that they're a part of life and almost a rite of passage in your childhood. Joining us this morning to help make chores fun is Amy Trout, a psychologist and mom herself. Welcome back. Good morning.
Thanks. Good morning.
So this is so interesting. I love this, talking about chores. It is kind of, I mean, we all need to learn to do them. I don't know if you can learn to love them, can you?
Well, the goal is to make it fun. You know, we want to
Yes.
kind of like disentangle that negative connotation from like the word chores. Most of us are kind of like,
I know.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? At what age? You have some good kind of tips for us to keep us in line,
Yeah.
and some suggestions.
It's important to know that, you know, not only do chores sort of help the family function a little bit more smoother, but it also helps the individual gain a sense of competence and like contribution to the greater good, a sense of value, and also
To the family?
Yeah, and also to gain personal happiness is actually correlated with kids that do chores.
Really?
Yeah, so what you want to do is make sure that we go in it with the right attitude, that our expectations are appropriate, right? We're not getting like, you know, Mr. Clean in our toddler, but, you know, we're getting someone that's learning how to help. And so if our expectations are kind of set appropriately and we make it something that's enjoyable.
Set age appropriately, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Then, you know, we can kind of roll with it as this is just a teaching domain that we want to teach our kids so that they walk away with the good things. You know, whether your house ends up, you know, looking like Good Housekeeping or whatever, you know, it may or may not. But if the kids are participating and giving it, you know, a good effort and you're having some fun in the process, it's important.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, and first up, you say do them together.
You can't always sit right there with your kiddos, I get it, and, you know, scrub a floor. Like, I understand that's not real life. But as much as possible, if you can even have a sibling participating or if you can kind of participate collaboratively with kids based on their age, it makes it much less isolative and lonely.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't feel like you're being punished doing a chore. Now, if you're doing that, that's different.
By myself, I can imagine our
Right.
kids don't either.
Yeah, and then you can have an interactive experience and you can talk about whatever you're talking about, whether it's chore related or not.
You say establish routines, which I hear this, whether it's chores or anything, you know, I assume that kids, from what I hear, kids like routines. They like to know what's coming. They like that consistency.
Yeah, the goal with that is to help reduce any of that kickback. So like if you're establishing a pattern of, let's say, you know, Wednesday is laundry day. If you're lucky enough to do it once a week. But for your kids, let's say Wednesday's laundry day. So you remind them, hey, it's Wednesday. Remember, when you get home from school, I need to get your, you know, your laundry baskets down by the washing machine and we're going to sort together, or whatever you're going to do with your kids. So that they then start building in, oh, tomorrow's Wednesday.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's laundry day. And you want it to be a little more habitual. They backslide in that. But I mean, you know, eventually that's the goal, to kind of get a rhythm to the chores so that it's not as much, I'm asking you to do a chore, right?
It's
But
kind
this
of
is just
more
what we
expected.
do, right?
Keep chores manageable, and I think that's where it goes to maybe age appropriate.
Absolutely. And like you have to manage the clutter, like in your home, but in your kids' domains as well. One expert writes that 6 toys is enough for any kid. Now, I'm not sure I agree with that or don't agree.
6 toys?
Six in their possession. So what my family's tended to do is rotate things around.
This
so
is
we'll
a
put
brilliant
things.
idea. You were telling me about this in
Yeah,
the commercial.
we are, you know, a lot of friends will give us toys, or they'll get a lot at Christmas. You know, I don't buy a lot of toys for my kids because they don't need them based on what we already have. But we'll rotate things around. So we'll take some things out into the garage or in a basement if you have it, in a different room, and then slowly rotate them out.
Dude, the kids don't
swap
need
them
a whole
up.
lot of stuff. What they have
It feels
just,
new, yeah. And it's fun.
For books too, you were saying that. For their bookshelf, maybe just put a couple of, you know, a week.
Right. And they
make
can
it a
go and
fun
check them
thing.
out. You can have a little library set up somewhere else where they rotate those books.
And I think that is a brilliant idea. It's just
Yeah.
less to clean up later, because sometimes they make a mess just to make a mess. They don't even know
It's
what
hard.
they're doing.
Absolutely.
And then last but not least, make them fun.
Yeah, like if you're trying to get your kids engaged with something, it's got to be fun if you want it to not be a power struggle. So if you spray smiley faces with your foam cleaner that, you know, age appropriately, if they're cleaning mirrors or something, if you go in and do hearts or write little messages on the counter with cleaners, that's fun, right?
I'm
mean,
a big
who doesn't
fan
like
of,
that?
I know it works in my house, is music, because my daughter
you
loves
go.
music. We sing songs, and it's
Absolutely.
amazing. And it kind of puts a time limit, too, if we say,
Right.
okay, let's listen to 1 or 2 songs
Yes.
and get some things done.
Absolutely. Some people do like short bursts. They'll say, okay, here's what we need to get done. Let's see how much we can get done in 15 minutes.
you're
We're
a
going
big
to set a
fan of that,
timer.
too.
Yeah, depending on the age of the kid.
We're going to recap this. Number 1, do them together. Do it as a family. Don't isolate. Establish routines. Keep chores manageable. And then make them fun.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, again, it's just we all have to do them, but if we can make them fun, why not?
That's right. Yeah, if we can make it something that everybody enjoys versus dreads, the power struggle is reduced. Yes. That's right.
Amy, thank you so much. We love having you here. We look forward to having you back.
All right, me too.
All right, well, go ahead and send it over to Steph.
Up next, we check in with the Southwest Florida and Lee County Fair to see how things are going so far and what fun is still ahead. But first, a look at your Fox forecast and news headlines.